So you're a cool and suave internet user. You know exactly how to spell www. But what's the stuff that comes after www? That's what we call the domain name. That's what this video is all about. Here's the secret. We came up with domain names because we were lazy. All websites on the internet exist at an Internet Protocol address, IP address for short. IP addresses consist of 4 numbers from 0 to 255, separated by periods. A typical IP address is something like 1.120.15.185. That's easy to remember. I mean, if you can remember a phone number, you should be able to remember the IP addresses of your favorite sites. Then again, why bother? That's why they came up with domain names. Domain names are the word sequences that people enter into their URL bars to visit websites. Domain names function as shortcuts to IP addresses. Because they're words, not numbers, they're easy to remember. When you type a URL into your address bar, your computer searches for the IP address assigned to that domain name on something called a DNS server. DNS stands for Domain Name Service. DNS servers are huge databases of IP addresses and domain names. They're like a genius smart librarian who knows where everything is and gives perfect directions. When the DNS server tells your browser the IP address for that domain name, your browser can load the website you're looking for. Sounds complex, right? But that whole process takes only microseconds. Domain names are pretty cool. Getting one means that when someone wants to visit your site, they just need to type in a simple and hopefully memorable phrase. But how do you get a domain name? First, you have to come up with something that no one else has chosen. Now that everyone's on the internet, finding a unique domain name can be difficult. Most simple words have been taken. Come up with a few different ideas, then try plugging them into your browser. If there's no website at that address, that probably means it's available, but you'll have to double check by going to a domain registration company like register.com or godaddy.com. Sometimes people buy domain names and they don't put anything up there. I secretly suspect they do this just to get people's hopes up, only to dash them away at the last minute. If the domain name you really want is unavailable as a .com, you can also try using suffixes like .org or .net. Be careful though, because all those suffixes have special meanings. The com in .com stands for commerce and is used primarily for commerce or business websites, while .org refers to nonprofit organizations. .net is just a generic domain. You probably guessed that that's just short for internet. Education websites might use .edu. Even countries have their own suffixes. Canadian websites, for example, might use a suffix like .ca. The best domain names are the ones that are simple, short, and clear. For our band site, we can try a bunch of different options. All we have to do is add band to the name, and we've got an available domain name. Once you've created something interesting that no one else has used, it's time to buy. Domain names usually don't cost more than $10 a year. There are literally hundreds of websites that are happy to register your domain name for you. Some web hosting providers will even offer free domain name registration as part of their hosting plans. Some options are register.com, godaddy.com, domaindirect.com, yahoo.com, and namecheap.com. When you register your shiny new domain, you will have to identify yourself and pay to register for at least 1 year. If you have a really great domain name, you may also want to acquire the same name with different suffixes, or even slight variations on spelling. That way, a typo won't keep people from reaching your site. Now that you have your little piece of property on the internet, be sure to fill it up with interesting things. And when you type in the domain name and your website loads, be sure to give some credit to the DNS server. It does good work.